Every day, over 300 million people worldwide turn to Twitter to talk about things that interest them. They might be interacting with a trending topic, such as the launch of a new iPhone, learning about world events, talking about their day-to-day life, or interacting with brands like yours. Now, when we think about Twitter for business, we're really thinking about how to create and capture these conversations. With such a huge audience represented on Twitter, it's a valuable place to position your brand. You might leverage Twitter to share details on a new product, a behind-the-scenes look at your process, or helpful tips that in turn can boost your retention. You might even convey your brand's personality by sharing other news from your industry or adding an opinion to an existing topic. As a business, the goal is to obtain followers, and you do this by adding value to the Twitter network. So by building followers, you can expand on existing customer relationships and develop new leads, all while you build a very visible presence. Now, almost every major brand has a presence on Twitter, each with a unique goal, but at the core, the biggest benefit to being on Twitter is having another channel to educate and engage with current and potential customers. Now, before you dive into starting or expanding your Twitter presence, it's important to note that Twitter is a very timely network. It requires a willingness to commit to frequent posts. Otherwise, your brand runs the risk of looking stale and unengaged. These frequent posts also allow your followers to engage in micro moments. Over 80% of users are accessing Twitter on mobile devices, which means they're checking in on Twitter throughout the day. They pull the phone out of their pocket and flip through their Twitter newsfeed. It's less of a sit down and spend hours on Twitter and more of a place to spend several minutes many times a day. Now, all these little interactions can then add up to meaningful moments for your brand. And it might sound crazy, but customers really enjoy interacting with brands on Twitter. They love to give a shout out for a job well done just as much as they like to know that you're responsive should issues arise. So the first step for any business is to determine if you're willing to commit the necessary resources to maintain your presence on Twitter. As a starting point, decide to interact once or twice a day until you see what works best for your particular business. With the right level of commitment, businesses can see great results. Twitter claims that people are 72% more likely to make a future purchase from a business after they follow or interact with them on Twitter. People want to hear from businesses on Twitter. It's a quick way to evaluate a brand, check for a special offer, and see what others have to say. Once you decide to use Twitter for your business, the right time investment mixed with a high-quality strategy will likely lead your brand to grow.